Ladies and gentlemen, tennis fans from around the globe, and especially the millions of proud, breath-holding, late-night streaming supporters from the Philippines and Eastern Europe, brace yourselves. We have a situation unfolding in Abu Dhabi. We often talk about dream matches in tennis. We talk about legends colliding, generations overlapping, destinies intersecting under bright lights. But sometimes, the most compelling stories are not about rankings or trophies. They're about timing, about moments when a rising star walks into a match that feels routine on paper, yet seismic in meaning. And that is exactly what we have in the second round of the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open. On one side of the net stands Alexandra Eala, still a teenager, still officially an underdog by ranking, but no longer a secret to anyone who truly follows the sport. The pride of the Philippines, a Grand Slam junior champion, a graduate of the Rafa Nadal Academy, a young woman carrying not just a racket, but the expectations of an entire tennis-hungry nation that has waited decades for this moment. On the other side stands Aliaksandra Sasnovich, the Belarusian veteran, the seasoned campaigner, a former top 30 player who has stood across the net from Grand Slam champions, who has survived the grind of the WTA Tour, who knows every trick, every rhythm shift, every psychological test this level of tennis can throw at you. This is not a blockbuster semifinal. This is not a title match. This is a second-round encounter in the desert. And yet, it feels heavy. It feels important. It feels like one of those matches that, years from now, fans will circle and say, that's when things started to change. Because for Alexandra Eala, matches like this are the gateway. They're the bridge between promise and proof. She has already conquered the junior world. She has already shown she belongs in elite training environments. But the WTA Tour is unforgiving. It does not care about your junior trophies. It does not care about your story. It asks one question only. Can you win today against someone who has done this 100 times before? Aliaksandra Sasnovich is that test personified. To understand why this matchup matters, you have to understand where both players are standing in their careers. Sasnovich is not here by accident. She has built her career on resilience, on adaptability, on the ability to absorb pressure and redirect it. She is not the loudest player on tour. She does not dominate headlines, but she has beaten top 10 players. She has ruined plenty of comeback stories. She thrives in matches where the opponent is expected to rise, expected to shine, expected to feed off momentum. Sasnovich knows how to slow that down, how to inject doubt, how to stretch rallies just long enough to make youth feel impatient. Alexandra Eala, on the other hand, is arriving. Not arriving loudly, not arriving with fireworks, but arriving steadily, match by match. Every tournament now is a learning ground. Every main draw win is a message. And Abu Dhabi, with its fast courts, dry air, and brutal efficiency, is one of the hardest classrooms on tour. You don't get time here. You don't get rhythm easily. The ball stays low. The points move quickly. It rewards decisiveness and punishes hesitation. That is where this match becomes fascinating. Eala's game has always been built on intelligence and intent. Her left-handed forehand is not just heavy, it's purposeful. She constructs points. She doesn't just hit for the sake of hitting. She understands patterns. She understands angles. But against Sasnovich, patterns are dangerous. Because Sasnovich breaks them. She changes pace. She floats balls deep. She slices. She forces you to hit one extra shot, and then another, until frustration creeps in. This is the kind of opponent that tells you very quickly whether you're ready. From the first ball, the contrast will be obvious. Sasnovich will test Eala's patience. She will serve wide, pull her off the court, then come back behind her. She will probe the backhand, not to overpower it, but to see how Eala responds under sustained pressure. And Eala will have to answer with courage, with depth, with a willingness to step inside the baseline and take time away, even if it means risking errors. The mental battle here is just as important as the physical one. Sasnovich has been here before. Second rounds, third rounds, pressure matches against younger players who feel the moment slipping through their fingers. She knows when to speed up. She knows when to slow down. She knows when to look calm and when to stare down the other side of the net just long enough to remind you that she's not going anywhere. For Eala, this is unfamiliar territory, but not intimidating territory. She is trained in pressure cookers. She has played finals. She has represented her country on big stages. But there is something different about playing a seasoned tour pro in a neutral venue, with no crowd carrying you, no emotional wave to ride. This is about self-belief, about trusting your preparation when the match stops feeling comfortable. And make no mistake, this match will not be comfortable. There will be long rallies where Eala feels she has done everything right, only to see the ball come back one more time. There will be moments where Sasnovich's depth pins her behind the baseline. There will be service games where one loose point suddenly becomes break point. This is where growth happens, not in the highlights, but in the struggle. Tactically, the keys are clear. Eala must be proactive. She cannot afford to let Sasnovich dictate with variety alone. She needs to use her lefty serve to open the court. She needs to take the ball early on return. She needs to be brave down the line, even if the margin feels thin. Sasnovich, meanwhile, will aim to stretch the match, to test Eala's shot tolerance, to see if the young Filipina is willing to stay disciplined when the points stop ending quickly. The surface plays its role too. Abu Dhabi's courts reward clean ball striking. They reward players who commit. That can work in Eala's favor if she trusts her strokes. But it also amplifies Sasnovich's experience, her ability to absorb pace and redirect it with precision. This is not a match about power versus power. It is about clarity versus confusion, about who can impose their version of the game more consistently. Zooming out, the significance of this moment cannot be overstated for Philippine tennis. Every time Eala steps onto a main draw court at a WTA event, she is carrying history with her. She is rewriting expectations. She is making it normal to see a Filipina competing at this level. A win over Sasnovich would not just be another second-round result. It would be a statement that she can handle seasoned professionals, not just fellow prospects. For Sasnovich, the motivation is different, but no less real. She is fighting for rhythm, for momentum, for relevance in a tour that moves fast and forgets faster. Losing to a teenager is not something any veteran welcomes. She'll want to assert control early, to remind everyone, including herself, that experience still matters. That tension is what makes this match compelling. There is no animosity here, no personal rivalry, but there is something pure, a generational checkpoint, a moment where one player asks, "Are you ready?" and the other must answer with a racket. As the match unfolds, watch the body language. Watch how Eala reacts after losing a long rally. Watch how Sasnovich responds if Eala strings together winners. These small signals will tell the story. Tennis at this level is often decided not by the spectacular, but by the response to the ordinary. In the end, predictions feel almost beside the point. Yes, experience favors Sasnovich. Yes, logic says the veteran knows how to navigate these matches. But tennis has never been purely logical. It is emotional. It is momentum-driven. And sometimes it rewards belief more than resumes. If Alexandra Eala can stay present, if she can trust her instincts and embrace the discomfort, she has a real chance to turn this match into a breakthrough. Not because Sasnovich will give her anything, but because growth often comes by taking something away from someone who expects to keep it. Whatever the result, this match will matter. It will be watched closely back home. It will be dissected. It will be remembered as another step in a journey that is still unfolding. So settle in. Watch closely, because in Abu Dhabi, under the desert lights, we are not just watching a second-round match. We are watching a young career test itself against the reality of the tour. And those moments, win or lose, are where futures are forged.